Hello guys, Balgore with you here. This is 1v1 here with myself as the Blue Zerg in the bottom right corner, and up here we have a Terran player, JunkyJones, in the top. You'll notice that I'm playing Zerg and I used to play Terran. I've actually switched now full-time 100% to Zerg in 1v1 and team play. I've been playing them in team games for quite a while now, but haven't really played with them much in 1v1 at all. This is one of my first 1v1 games with Zerg, if not the first one with Zerg, and we'll see how I do here. I'm trying a little bit of an extractor trick, kind of really late and delayed and failed there, but I read the fastest possible roach rush involves doing a double extractor trick, so I guess that's what I was trying to do for this game. Anyway, sorry I haven't been uploading videos lately. That is because I've definitely been super busy, but also I got a virus and had to reformat, and I've had a nightmare of a time finding a screen recording program that records my voice and the screen properly. So anyway, I've settled for now with Camtasia's 30-day free trial, and I hope to pump out as many videos as I can. I'm going to show you a bunch of 1v1s with my Zerg play, and we can see different various builds I use against different matchups and same matchups and whatnot. So you can see my viability as Zerg. I just continued from where I left off on the ladder as Terran, and I expected to take a nosedive in rank. And believe it or not, I've actually gone up in rank tremendously. I've won something like 16 I've won like 14 out of 16 games using Zerg so far. I'm just fed up with Terran in 1v1. I hate the TVT matchup. It's just brutal, 45-minute long games. Even if you win, it's just always siege tank versus siege tank. There's no way around it. Marine Marauder is not really viable against it, and whoever attacks first is at a huge disadvantage because you're running into a siege tank wall. So I've been kind of frustrated with that matchup and just Terran in general. So I've switched to Zerg now. I find it a lot easier. A lot of Zerg players on the forum complain and whine that they have it so hard and horrible, but I actually really enjoy the mechanics. They are vastly different than Terran and Protoss, so obviously each person's opinion differs to themselves, but I've been having really good success with them. I like the ability to tech switch whenever I want, whenever I need. I like being able to have a free fast expansion right off the bat if I want to. The metagame has evolved by pros now to the point where literally Zerg can fast expand every single game, and there's pretty much nothing anyone can do about it. Even if you're cheesed and rushed with a Rax all-in, Zerg players who fast expand can hold it just with lings and spine crawlers. So anyway, I've picked Zerg now. I like their flexibility. I like being able to produce multiple units at once and multiple workers at once and have multiple bases and all that good stuff. So anyway, this is a Roach Rush opener that I'm doing here. I have 3 roaches out so far, and up here JunkyJones seems to have a tech lab and a factory, and what is he going to produce? It is going to be a siege tank. So he's actually getting the right thing. He actually poked up here with a scout and saw my roach. I'm sorry I just missed that. And so he's opting for the siege tank instead of the Hellion, which is a common opener against Zerg, as Terran. So now I'm pushing out with 7 roaches. I'm not sure if this is the absolute fastest possible timing. I'm actually quite a little bit late. I know that it should be before 5 minutes, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. JunkyJones opting for the command center. So I'm pushing out across the map here. He has a few Marines and a siege tank. Is it going to be enough? He is getting siege tech on the way, but it is not going to complete by the time I get here. Here I am pushing up here. The battle is about to ensue. Let's see what happens. He sees it. He's pulling a lot of his SCVs off the line. Not quite all of them, but enough anyway. I poke in a little bit, see what's going on, kind of regather my guys, and try again. Going up here on A attack, I should be focus firing better than this. But anyway, I'm taking out the Marines first, and now I'm focusing on the workers that are repairing the siege tank. I don't stand a chance getting that tank without hitting those workers first. So I've killed quite a few workers, but I'm losing my roaches drastically. I'm constantly re-injecting and reproducing more roaches. Here comes reinforcements on the way. Back to the battle. He's held with ease and has 2 tanks remaining. Siege tech is now complete, and all I have is 1 roach left, but my reinforcements are swiftly coming. I'm now also opting to go for lair, and just produced a whole wave of drones. So if we look at the units tab here, he lost a lot of workers in that fight. I'm actually ahead 23 workers to 18 SCVs. That's the beauty of Zerg. At any time I can choose to make workers instead of attacking units. I'm pushing up here again, focus firing this time. He's pulling back, good micro by him. And it looks like he's not going to lose any tanks, and I'm going to lose all of my roaches. That was a very good battle by JunkyJones there. And just a little bit of chit-chat going off back and forth. This was one of my first Zerg games on the ladder. I was more curious to learn than worry about winning or losing. So I just asked him, oh, did you see the roaches coming? Because he seemed pretty well prepared for that, and he was. He did see it coming, he scouted it with his SCV, and then he chose to get siege tanks instead of Hellions, which is key. And he also had guys repairing, which is also very important. So now his command center's up. I've also opted to throw down an expansion at my natural here, and we're just going to take a pause. Hello guys, recording again. Sorry about that pause. I just wanted to make sure that it was recording properly. I've actually cast this game 3 times in a row now. Failed to record my microphone or the screen properly. Anyway, it seems to be working, so I will continue this commentary and hopefully it works out fully this time. I'm throwing down Baneling Nest and Spire here. I watch a lot of pro games. I follow the NASL closely, so a lot of my Zerg play recently. Terrans don't to opt for the mutabase production tab here, so we now roach harassed at any of your expansions. You can burrow all of your drones and potentially save them all. Burrow is also great for roaches and infestors as well. And I'm getting Baneling speed here, and then my Spire is up, so I'm probably producing some things now. Just looks like I'm droning up hard at the moment, actually. Terran player just scanned me. He does scout both of these things. Let's see what the Terran player is up to. He has landed his natural expansion, and he has some siege tanks there confining it. He's getting both of his gases up, so he plans on pumping out a lot more tanks and gas-heavy units. He does have some idle SCVs here, which is actually pretty sloppy for a diamond level player. Though I am Team Masters rank in over 6 different teams, in 1v1 I'm only diamond because I rarely play it, but I'm really going to start trying to play it a lot more often. I've really started playing it a lot more in 1v1 now, and I'm hoping to get Masters anytime now in the next week or 2 if I just keep playing. I think it's just a matter of playing more games. So anyway, I'm throwing down an in-base hatch for that extra larva, because as you can see I'm using all of my larva right now, and just pumping some lings, which will eventually be banelings, and probably getting some mutas too. And here they are. As you can see, I also have Overlord placement at every single one of the expansions around the map, and except for this one and this one. So I'm now sending lings out to those locations so that I have full vision all times and know when my opponent is expanding and when he's moving out and what he's doing. I also hold the watchtower. It's great that I have this map control and I'm able to do this. So we'll see what's going on here. Also getting the tunneling claws for roaches in case I want to use burrow roaches later on in the game, and getting the attack upgrades level 1 as well as the armor upgrades for the Zerg. So, and throwing down that infestation pit, not only for infestors, but also hive tech later on. So here come my mutas into the back of his base. I'm going to see what's going on. He does not have any turrets, but he is prepared in the sense that he has a Thor here. So I'm going to pop in and see this Thor. I am not clumped up, so his splash damage is not too great. I kind of just use move and hold micro here, but I'm losing units for nothing. I mean, I did kill a few workers, but I lost 2 mutas, which is 200 gas, so that wasn't really worth it. Kind of a little bit of bad control on my part there. I guess I was just testing his worker line, just producing more mutas. I actually got this corruptor accidentally. I remember getting it in the game and went, ah, crap. But that's no big deal. One unit shouldn't make too much of a difference. And our Terran player here still does not have shield. Note it's on the way. The reason is he got Stimpack first. Stimpack is the longer upgrade, so he opted to get it first. But in my opinion, you should get shield first, just because those extra 10 hit points add up. For all of these units, that's hundreds of extra damage I would have to do. And instead, with Stim especially, it's going to be a lot less damage that I have to do. He's sending a Marine out to scout what's going on here, just running right by that tower. My Roach is going to be able to clean that up, no problem. He will not see anything. I'm keeping on top of my creep spread, spreading my creep all around as far as I can extend it. I have that extra in-base hatch up now, that queen, and I'm throwing down my third base. I have full vision of the map. I can see that the Terran player has not taken his third base, so he is just still opting to increase his Marine ball and siege tank army, and we'll see what's going to go on and who's going to push out first. I'm just producing mutas, lings, tons of overlords. I got a little supply cap there and had some extra money, so I'm spending that on supply. Supply goes really fast. Overlords only count as 8, unlike the supply depots, which I'm used to, that count as 9 or 10. And now he's opting to throw up some turrets at his natural and his main. I think this is a little bit of overkill. He doesn't necessarily need 4 at each one. However, I suppose if he's worried about pushing out and then being harassed by a whole bunch of mutas, it is good to have more than 1 or 2, just because mutas can drain 1 or 2 turrets pretty quickly with a quick focus fire. And so I guess he wants to be better safe than sorry. Not too bad. He is also opting to get upgrades, which is a great decision. You should always get upgrades. And he does have starport, but he has not produced any Vikings or medevacs. He should probably get a couple medevacs, and here comes the reactor. So he will be getting medevacs most likely down the road. And for now, he's just pumping Marines and siege tanks. So here comes my army. I come rolling in. I'm sorry I missed that. And tons of banelings. I'm trying to control where I use them. I hit all of his Marines. I'm actually using Magic Box with my Thor so that they do not take splash damage. And first times I've really used Magic Box. And that fight was very, very close. It seems he's just barely going to win and come out ahead. Beauty of Zerg is that I can just keep reproducing my army. Notice I've spent all of my money. I'm staying on top of my macro. And I've gotten this third base up now, so I'm starting to pump it out and get it ready. Got tons more lings out here, and gonna move out across the map with these speedlings. Speed is also an essential upgrade for Zerg, no matter what build you're doing. So here come the lings, and sending the corruptor over here just for scouting. The lings move in. I expected he had a lot less. He had more than I expected, so he actually did decently against this. However, a lot of his tanks were not sieged, so I did get in there and do some damage. I did snipe that injured Thor, and I almost got a tank, but I definitely lost that engagement. And I now have my third up, and he's still on 2 base, and he should be getting close to mined out on his main, and he actually is really close to being mined out. And I know this because I'm close to being mined out on my main. So it's just going to be a macro fest. He's now getting some medevacs to go with his Marines, which make them exceptionally better. And again, poor SCV control here, just kind of leaving idle SCVs around. I guess they are on auto repair, and they are just combat SCVs at this point in time. Has a tank stuck in his base, and still building these missile turrets. But yep, looks like an indecision about a third factory there. I'm not sure what was going on with him. And here I am just trying to macro up again, probably produce more workers. And yeah, I've got 8 more drones on the way. And yeah, we'll see what happens with the next engagement. He throws down a scan. He sees my army. He sees the mutalisks that I have here. It looks like I have a pretty good deal here. And lings, I do not have too many lings or ground army, so I'm pretty much relying on my mutas right now for defense. Is he going to push out? Not really. He is preparing to take his next expansion, and he does have a sizable force. It looks like he might be prepared to push out now. Is he going to group these units and move out? We'll have to see. Looks like not. Just he must be macroing up. I'm opting to take my fourth and really try and pull ahead here. Still spreading the creep in all directions. Creep is essential for Zerg as it provides vision and makes your units faster and better. So here he is pushing out across the map. I'm going to see this with my Roach at the watchtower. The Roach does get taken out, so I see that he's coming on the way. I'm quickly gathering up my units, producing Banelings out of all of those Speedlings that I had here, and I actually have a nice handful of 20 mutas here ready to go. So I'm just trying to get in a good position here and set up my Banelings and mutas and prepare to engage this. I have an Overseer in case detection is required. I kind of poke in a little bit, see. I go right in with those Banelings first, hit all of those Marines, and I move over here and I use the magic box. I do a hold position, I do believe, and that Thor does not do good splash damage. Now he is out of Marines and out of Thors. I've destroyed any anti-air he had, and all of his tanks are going to have to pull back or he's going to lose them all. I'm going to chase them down and start focus firing here. He's losing a lot of tanks. This is pretty bad. You need to make sure you have a heavy Marine count, but you also don't want to overdo it and leave yourself just vulnerable to mass Speedling and Baneling. And it's a really hard game for Terran late game now against Zerg these days, because once Zerg gets on multiple bases, they can replenish their army with ease, and Terran is limited to their barracks and factories. So we'll see, is he going to be able to recover after that devastating attack? Coming over here to harass, his missile turrets are coming in handy, and he does have a Viking out, so he is able to push back my mutas. I am going to pull back. I do not want to lose them all for nothing, and it looks like I'm actually having a little bit of bad control here. But going in, I'm going to get that Viking and then maybe pull out, not entirely sure. Thor getting me, actually horrible control on my part, losing all of those mutas unnecessarily. Very bad play there. I've got tons of Speedlings, and I'm producing 17 more mutas are on the way. My fourth base is up now, and I am transferring drones over from my main. And the Terran player has kind of remacroed an army, but does not have any Marines. It's all SCVs and Thors. It looks like he's getting close to mined out. I guess he's ready to do an all-in, producing Vikings to try and deal with those mutas. Vikings aren't very good against mutas. In fact, I'm pretty sure a muta can 1-for-1 a Viking, and with the splash damage, mutas on a more massive scale probably win more massively. So he's got a command center over here for the gold. I see it with my Zergling, so I know he's coming to take that. I select the Zergling and I actually burrow it, try and keep it hidden, and now he's going to be destroying this destructible debris. I have my army gathered up here, and I'm probably going to move out for an attack any moment now. He's scouting with his Viking, and that gets taken out. He throws down a scan there too. I'm just going to go in with mass Speedlings, not even use Banelings. I'm actually going to send the Speedlings to his main and my mutas to his base over here. And I do not magic box this time, and notice my mutas get absolutely devastated. Very poor control at that moment, but over here I am in his main, tearing it up a little bit. Gonna do some pretty decent damage here, and taking out some supply, some of his production buildings like the factories over here. Is he going to react? He is not reacting, he is not pulling back, so I'm going to be doing horrible damage to him here. He's going to have to lift off, but these buildings are on fire, so he's probably going to lose them. Now I'm trying to take down some of his supply depots, and first his expansions, his reactors and tech labs, and any SCVs running in here, I guess, that were to repair are going to get taken out, and I'm just doing horrible damage. He's just sitting tight on this gold. This is pretty much all he has left. I've got decent saturation at my expansions here now, and I'm just in good macro mode. I've got quite a bit of resources, but I am spending most of my gas, which is decent, and I'm almost at 200 once again. So all of his base is going to go down. He actually entirely sacrificed that to hold this gold position. I can't say I agree with that. Is it going to pay off? We'll have to see. The answer is probably not. Sending in my mass speedlings from all directions, and these Thors and siege tanks are not going to be enough to take it out. There's just too many Zerglings. Even with the splash damage of those siege tanks in the back, it's not going to be enough. And my mutas move in for the kill on the planetary fortress. He GG's and has left the game. Hope you guys enjoyed that replay, and I will upload more.